We now have another student story, and this time we're going to be talking about study planning, a very, very important topic. Claire, what are you studying?
Hello, I'm studying postgrad level and I'm studying environmental management.
Brilliant. Now, how do you approach your study and how do you plan it?
Well, I organise people for a living, so obviously organisation is key to what I like to do. But I have found that planning my week is really essential. So making sure that I have times, and it's quite often set times where I know that I'm going to be studying, and from the point of view of making sure that I'm planning for my module, I can use the materials that I've got and the information that I've been given as to how long each section's meant to take, so I can plan out where I think I should be on each study point. And also from the perspective of your life, making sure that you're planning out sort of, things around what you're doing in your life as well.
Well, that sounds very organised. So tell me then, do you study by time or by task? How do you plan those chunks in?
Well, the modules that I've been doing so far have been giving me a length of time for each sort of different section. There's things called blocks and tributaries and things like that, and they tell me how long I should be spending on each one. So I've been planning it out in terms of sort of how long I should be spending on each of those blocks. And then within that, I have a quick look at how much is within each section, and then I plan out, okay, well, I think I should be able to get 5 of this section done on this one evening, and if I'm not at the end of it at that point, I don't worry, I don't panic about it. I just go, okay, well, how am I going to adjust this plan to allow for everything to work?
And these times are all approximate, so it might say it might take 10 minutes, it might take 45 minutes, but everyone's at different levels. So say you start a task that's a 45-minute task and you've got half an hour of studying. Do you stop the task and go back to it, or do you move on to the next task after that?
It depends how much I think I've done of that task. If I think I've got everything that I need to out of it, then that's fine. If there's extra reading around it, I make sure that I've got time for that extra reading at some point. Where if it's not within that study session, maybe that's another point. I go back to it and I have a look at it. And I just find it's really useful to at least have an idea of where I would like to be, so that I'm keeping on track.
So you're planning your time, but you're also planning your purpose. How do you physically and emotionally get yourself set up for what you're doing at that particular time and how you're using that block of time?
Well, I like to sort of have a think about sort of how I'm going to be doing things in terms of the readings, and in terms of, okay, well, there's an activity comes up, have I got time to actually look at this activity properly, or do I need to stop there and come back to it the next time? And just sort of to make sure that I get the best out of each session.
And how do you make sure that people around you help you stick to those times and blocks when things get in the way?
Well, I'm very lucky because my lovely husband has always been very supportive, and I found that if I plan out regular slots in my life, I'm able to plan out particular slots. So a Wednesday night was particular one that was always my study time, and we always just made sure that we planned our meals so that it was something that my husband could do, and he would make the meal for me and just call me down for dinner, and then I would have my dinner and disappear again, and he would do the washing up and all of that kind of thing afterwards. And it meant that there was one evening that obviously he was going to be doing all of that rather than us sharing it, but it was the support that I needed to be able to have a chunk of time to myself to be able to do the studying.
Oh, Claire, thank you so much for sharing.